Hi, I'm Michelle with Where You Live, and today we're here with Deb to talk about her new play on the Alcan Highway, celebrating the 75th anniversary. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's called the Alcan Craze of 42, and the reason is because back in 1942, when they were building the Alaska Highway, they actually called it the Alcan Highway, so short for the Alaska Canadian Military Highway, I think. And so, a lot of people just called it the Alcan, even though later on it became the Alaska Highway. Still, many of the old folks know it as the Alcan.
What inspired you to write this play?
What inspired me initially was an interview that I did with Duncan Beaton back in about 1990. And they were kind of getting ready, looking forward to the 50th anniversary of the highway. And I was doing some freelancing at the time, and I was asked by the Western producer to do some articles about different people that had experience on the highway doing different jobs. And so the first assignment I got was to interview Duncan Beaton. After that, I was so inspired by his story that I just thought, this has got to be a play.
So what can people expect a little bit from the play when they come to see it?
Well, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of historical information. I did a tremendous amount of research, actually, months of research, and read every book written on the Alaska Highway, I believe. And so I've tried to incorporate as much of that information as I could into the play and kind of weave a story into it. The setting is a Hudson Bay Company store right in Fort St. John. It's very much a local to Fort St. John, kind of a setting. And the people that are coming and going kind of allowed me to weave the story in about what was going on, about the surveyors, the people that were wrangling for the surveyors, and people that were farmers that would come in, and also military people, soldiers that would come into the store. So it that became the setting.
And how did Stage North become involved?
Well, when Sue Popescu actually first discussed the idea of bringing back the play this time. Okay, so we're talking about the original play, which was done in 1992 for the 50th anniversary. And this time, for this go-around with the play, for the 75th anniversary, it was Sue Popescu who really said, we want lots of things happening to celebrate the 75th anniversary. What about bringing back your play? So I was really excited to do that, and I had some ideas about rewriting. And of course, Stage North has all these actors. We decided to do it as a cultural center event. There's certain advantages to doing it that way, but Stage North is, they've supplied us with most of the actors, so that's great.
And who's your director this go-round?
It is Michael Armstrong, and he is a very experienced director. He's, knows theater very well. I think he adjudicates for the theater festival here in Fort St. John and in many other places. He's also a playwright and himself. I think he teaches playwriting. He's very, very experienced. And when we were looking at doing this, and I was looking at rewriting it, and I told Sue at the time, I'd really like to try getting a professional director, because I think it's going to be challenging to produce it and create it the way I have this new vision of doing it this time. I'm more involved in actually how it's going to look this time.
So your dress rehearsal is this evening. Have you met some of your leading actors and know who they're going to be?
Oh yes, I've been at 2 readings, and I've met most of the actors. We've got some great people involved. One of my big challenges was to get an African American so that he would play the role of the black soldiers, because the black regiments was a huge part of building the highway, of course, because 3 of the regiments were black soldiers with white officers. And so we really needed that. And we weren't finding one, but finally we got a guy to come out of the woodwork, and he's fantastic.
That's so great to hear. I'm excited. So when people come out to see it, is it more of an informative sort of play, or is it comedy? What are they going to expect to come and see?
It's got everything. It really does. I mean, there's comedy, there's tragedy, there's everything that goes along with building the highway, you know. But we've also woven in a story, and I say we because Michael Armstrong, when I originally wrote the play, being at the setting of the Hudson Bay Company, I had the original people, and I interviewed the original people that ran the Hudson Bay Company store at that time, and got all kinds of information from Mrs. Duddy. And so this time, Michael Armstrong said, let's include a little more romance. Let's include, let's bring that into it. And you have to be respectful of these people because these are real people. Mm-hmm. So, but in the end, we added some. I think it's more entertaining. But there's definitely a lot of information, and at the same time, it's entertaining, and there's quite a bit of music in it as well.
That's so great. When you wrote it, what did you use to write it on?
Okay, I brought my word processor. Well, I actually wrote it by hand, with in a scribbler to start with, and then as I edited it, I got it onto the word processor, and then I handed Stage North the manuscript, and then they did it in script format, because.
Hi, Deb. We're here at the North Peace Cultural Center to talk about the new play that you've written.
Scripts so that they have room to write in and make notes, and so.
So how is it different this go around than last time?
Well, this time it's going to be quite a bit more entertaining and quite a bit more multimedia, I guess, because we have this excellent videographer, Lisa McLean, who's come on board, and she's put together a series of images that they're going to project onto the back of the stage, and so we'll be looking at the actual images of things that were happening on the highway at the same time as we're talking about them, so that you can see, the reality of the real pictures to what we're trying to explain through the play. So that's one part of it that is going to be really different and very exciting for me.
So we're bringing history to life this go round.
Exactly, that's what we're doing.
That's so great. It sounds like a really exciting project, and I'm excited to see how it turns out on stage.
It should be good.